The future of SMS is, I believe, AI powered.
Yep.
It's AI powered, man. I'm starting to get this way with some of my emails where the AI response to the email. I'm actually trusting it and being able to go with that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I actually think, we can get to the point where we can use AI to really like create some really awesome, uh, just good marketing campaigns where any small business owner can send out effective SMS texts on behalf of his company.
Hi, everybody. My name is Reggie Riley, and welcome to the Momentum Playbook, where MarTech and SaaS leaders share strategies behind their biggest growth breakthroughs. This is all for future leaders that can accelerate faster. I am here with a great guest today. This is Jeremey Boudinet, VP of Growth at Textla. There's an exciting story behind Textla, and there's an exciting story behind Jeremey and what he's doing there to grow the business. Textla is a leading B2B SMS platform helping brands connect with buyers in real time. And I think the whole SMS space right now in B2B is pretty exciting and pretty compelling, and we'll hear a lot about that today. So, Jeremey, thank you for joining.
Great to be here, Reggie. Thanks for having me. Love talking shop, love talking Textla, and just talking business in general. So excited to share some of the stuff that's worked for us. And yeah, great to be on.
Fantastic. Super. Thanks a lot. So we're going to dive into how SMS is reshaping engagement and driving major growth and momentum across industries. But to get started here, why don't we talk about the origin story here, how you built momentum. So before Textla, how'd you get your start in growth in MarTech, and then what led you to Textla?
Yeah, great question. So I always love telling the story because I have a very unorthodox path into marketing. I think a lot of people do. I think it's one of those industries that kind of chooses you sometimes. So I actually have a law degree, Reggie, that I don't use. I went to University of Tennessee for undergrad, then I went to Pitt for law school. Up in Pittsburgh, graduated from law school, and kind of hated law school. Just didn't want to be an attorney, and was kind of professionally adrift at age like 26. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. In college at the University of Tennessee, I had done this like pre-chat GPT paper writing business where I actually wrote papers for people for money, and I had the Boudinet guarantee and A or B or your money back. It kind of blew up organically. It turned like a regional empire where I was writing papers for people all over the Southeast. Like people I didn't know were calling me like, hey, I hear you can write me a 6-page paper on China, on Chinese, 1970s Chinese economy. I'm like, yeah, man, I got you. So I had that business that I'd done, and two of my fraternity brothers, it turns out, had started a tech company called Ambition. I'm actually wearing their hat right now, so shout out to them. Gotten into Y Combinator and raised a bunch of venture capital money. So they basically recruited me. They're like, hey, Jeremey, do you want to do marketing? You're a great writer. You know how to write. That's kind of, one of the central core tenets of being good at marketing. I never even considered marketing. I never even thought about it. I wasn't a tech guy. I had no startup knowledge, but I said, yeah, I'll do it. I get to reunite with these guys, and it seemed really fun. It seemed like something I'd be really good at. So that was it. So I joined Ambition in 2014, his first business team hire, and then spent 4 years there, like really learning the ropes of marketing from inside the trenches of a high growth software company. We got to a Series A while I was there, and then I left. I was completely burned out because I was running everything. We had a 2-man marketing team by the time I left, but that was it. Yeah, so spent 4 years there, then ended up working at a company called Nextiva, which is a UCaaS unicorn, unified business communications, great company there. Learned a lot there working under their CMO, Yaniv Machete. And then spent a year and a half working at an influencer marketing agency. I got out of MarTech. In the agency world, I was a VP of growth. Liked it. Yeah, I just learned, I was like, agencies can't scale the way that tech companies can. So I ended up making the move from that to Textla about 2 years ago. And Textla's been a wonderful ride, phenomenal team, small, lean, very hardworking. I think we've kind of nailed the market in terms of like really being able to dominate the SMS marketing market. Our goal is to become MailChimp for SMS marketing. What MailChimp was to email marketing, we want to be that for SMS. And so, yeah, it's been a wonderful ride. So we've grown a lot. We've learned a lot. We have a lot more growing to do. Yeah, definitely. And it's one of the most exciting startups I've been at. And one that
Right.
has probably the highest growth potential. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. So staying on that same line of thinking, what experiences most shaped how you think about acquiring and retaining customers today?
Experience most shape. Ah, man. I always get bad. I talk about this. I've been on the Call podcast. I always talk about this because this was a good learning experience, but it's the same one. Um, so my first year and a half at Ambition was original tagline was fantasy football for sales. Kind of a wild tagline. It basically enabled you to run like team sales contests where
Yeah.
you scored your reps based on like their activity and how many deals they closed and all that, kind of like you would like a fantasy football player.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really cool idea, but like businesses weren't really trying to pay, when we pitched it that way, businesses were like, I'm not going to pay 20 grand a year for software that lets me do this. So we really struggled the first year and a half I was there to figure out what our messaging was and what our position was and how to actually acquire customers. What I did, I remember having like a light bulb moment where I gotten us a bunch of reviews on G2, which I'm sure people know. It's like the
Yeah.
number one review website for
Yeah.
tech companies. We had like, I probably had like 60 or 70 customer reviews on there. And I went in and just read them all. And I just like spent like a couple hours just reading them all. And as I read them all, it started to hit me. They were all saying the same things. I liked Ambition brings transparency and visibility to my workforce. Ambition creates accountability for my reps. Ambition, brings excitement to my sales floor. And so we stopped selling, like in terms of how we started messaging Ambition, it changed from that day forward. We were selling visibility, we were selling transparency, we were selling accountability for sales teams, and like
Yeah.
forget all the fun, fluffy gamification,
Right.
team sales contests. What sales leaders really needed was they needed to know what their reps are doing. They needed to
Yep.
know like how to coach them. They needed the reps to feel like they were being seen and they were being held accountable. And then also they were being appreciated for the work they were doing. So
Sure.
that
Yeah.
is what we sold. And we were able, it was like once we sort of like focused on that messaging on our website and on social, the growth started to really snowball. And, we, got to 1 million in rev, then 2 million in rev, then 3 million in rev, and just, it was just started, snowballing upwards. Next thing you know, we raised Series A. So I go back to that though, where our customers told us how to sell Ambition. Like that wasn't my idea. It wasn't like I sat there and like thought, oh, this is a great thing. I literally just read what our customers said. And that's what it did. And so if you go to like to our reviews on Textla right now, on G2, you've got like 130 reviews. They all say the same thing: ease of use, great customer support. So we've
Fantastic.
sort of we've held the line on that positioning, and it wins us deals. It's why we're growing so fast. So
Fantastic. Outstanding. So my next question might be right along that, or you may have just answered it, which is fine. But what was an early bet you made that created that disproportionate momentum in your career or with a particular company? Any particular decision or move you made that had that outsized impact?
oh man, there's been a few. Um, one decision we made early on at Ambition that paid off. It was a long tail decision. It took years to pay off, but when it paid off, it like paid off big. And that was we went really avant garde with our content marketing. We made a conscious decision to be weird and be very non corporate with the content we created for our marketing. Like I'd write blog posts about like if your sales team was like we're NFL players, who would they be? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we did these crazy like competitions where we'd pit 64 tech companies against each other in a tournament every year. We called it March Sassness, and people would vote, and like the winners would advance. And it was very, very like off the wall, like non corporate, but very like eye catching. And we sort of built our brand around that, over the course of 4 years. And we had a really good customer acquisition cost. We weren't really doing Google ads or meta ads or anything like that. We did this very guerrilla, free content marketing strategy that really paid off because people knew Ambition. We had a real strong brand and a good reputation in the industry. So that was one that took a while to pay off, but it paid off. At Textla, we did an early bet on Reddit that really paid off, and that was a tip from a buddy of mine I used to work with. who, I love calling other marketers and be like, what are you doing that's working? This is like an
Yeah.
example of that paying off for
Very
me.
smart.
So,
Very smart.
yeah, shouts out Andrew Bankson, who used to work for me at Ubiquitous, another VP growth. Yeah, we went to Reddit, and we basically were able to sort of like get on Reddit, and we invested some money and time into like getting noticed on there. And like we still like that was like our first real success in terms of like marketing text. When I joined the company, we had less than 100 customers, and we were
Wow.
getting like 4 or 5 signups a day. And now we went, I mean, immediately it started going to double digits, every day thanks to that one play alone. But like,
Wow.
it was low cost, very low
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
But we basically discovered that Google was ranking Reddit
Yeah.
posts on in this industry for like key search terms. So I just went through and just reverse engineered like, okay, if you search what's the highest, volume search term in our industry, SMS marketing software. Okay, what happens when you search that? Here's some organic results. Then here's a bunch of Reddit threads. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is going to be this. This is a place we can play, and we can actually sort of
Awesome.
get to the first page of Google without having like a real
Wow.
SEO presence. So yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow.
that was
Awesome.
one.
That's
Another one,
great.
I'll add one more that took us about a
Yeah.
year to do, but I'm proud of, and it was a team effort with me and our CEO. But there was a Zapier article we really wanted to rank on because it was number one for like every key search term our industry. And I probably did like, I reached out like 40 times, Reggie, to like Zapier. I hit their content marketing leader. I hit their VP of marketing. I hit the writer of the article. I hit another writer who was credited with the article. I mean, we did everything we could to get on this article. We could not get on it. I told Luke, I was like, dude, I don't know what to do here, man. Like, I've done everything I can to get on this. So he went to one of our investors, and our investor had a friend who was a good friend of the CEO. So we literally parlayed that
Wow.
into an intro to the CEO, and then asked the CEO to, and we had actually done all this stuff with the product where we put Zapier inside of Textla. And like we had done all this stuff to like really sort of, create a real legit organic relationship with Textla and Zapier. And it finally paid off where like we told the CEO the stuff. CEO was like, all right, cool, we'll put you in the article. So we got in the article, boom, like just
Wow.
another big spike in signups. So
Awesome.
yeah, paid off.
Outstanding, man. The resourcefulness and the timing and the relentlessness. I love it. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's what it
Key
takes. It took
message
over.
there.
Yeah, it took over a year, but I mean, it was worth it.
Good for
So
you. Good for
don't
you.
give up.
And it sounds like you're doing so many things that they're not high out of pocket. They're really creative. They're really full of energy, and they're really full of innovation. And getting you there. So very exciting. All right, so let's switch gears to SMS as a growth channel. So SMS is now a top tier engagement platform, no doubt about it. What shift are you seeing in how B2B buyers prefer to communicate?
Yeah, and how B2B buyers prefer to communicate. Yeah, I mean, as a B2B buyer myself, and I have been for a while. I'm gonna say I like text, of course, but like that's not speaking. If I was not part of text law, I would still be saying that. Like there's when you're doing a B2B sale, you're usually communicating with multiple stakeholders, right? And if it's a bigger deal, it's more complex. There's a lot of like managing the relationships, and you got like the decision maker and the champion. You're back channeling for information about how we can move the deal forward and all that sort of
Right.
stuff. Text is a very important channel for that because like it's for a couple of reasons. One, it's very like personal. It's very like
Mm-hmm.
we're not in this like corporate, we're emailing each other back and forth mode. It's much more intimate,
Yeah.
and it's much more human in a way. So like when you're texting someone, it's like a lot. There's almost like the very channel itself creates a level of intimacy, and there's almost like a higher like baseline of trust. I would say when you're texting someone and you're on good
Sure.
terms with them and you're
Sure.
trying to push the deal forward. So that's a great sort of a great thing for that. So I think a lot of B2B buyers, I mean, you got a lot of millennials like myself. I'm 39. We're very comfortable with the cell phone. We're comfortable getting deals done over the phone. I saw a
Yep.
great meme too. This made me think of this a lot. I don't know if you saw this, but it was like your hierarchy in a company, and then like what electronics you use
Oh
in
yeah.
the company. And the highest level is the CEO with a cell phone. And it's like the lower you go, the like more like you have like a laptop, then you have a desktop, then you have like three
Yep.
desktops for like a baseline like employee. But it goes back to like CEOs actually probably communicate, are more prone to communicate via like very informally via, their cell or
Yeah.
shooting
Yeah.
emails over their phone and stuff.
Sure.
So it's almost like good for going up the food chain and just getting direct access to someone
Sure. Sure.
who's a key decision maker. So,
That's a great insight.
um, yeah. So, I mean, I think for B2B, like when you're working these long deal cycles, you need to get people's cell phone numbers. You need to be able to, chat with them via text, all
Yep.
that good stuff, and figure out how to navigate pushing those deals forward because they might not be responding to email. They might not respond to a phone call, but they
Yeah.
might be able to text you. And if they're in meetings
Yeah.
all day, they're probably not going to get to an email or respond to a call, but they'll be able to text you mid meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great insight. Great insight. So when does SMS work best, and when is it the wrong channel, if it ever is?
Yeah, great question. So, SMS works best when you actually have some level of a relationship with someone. The biggest mistakes I've seen people making is treating it like cold email, where they literally will try to get phone numbers. This actually isn't allowed. This is illegal. Like we call it lead gen. But if you were to buy a list of names and phone numbers and blast them with like a cold text, that's spam. Like
Yep.
people are trying to do that, and it's like,
Yep.
dude, you can't. People are going to hate you, and it's actually going to ruin the. It could even like jeopardize, I think, even using text for business purposes. Sadly,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, so never cold text. Number one. Uh, Number two, the good times to use it. Anytime you've established a relationship with someone and you feel like, okay, like this person's busy, but like they've given me their cell phone number, it's a good time for me to text them. And B2B, like I think as you're working an enterprise deal, great to text. One thing we do too at Textla, when someone signs up for a 14-day free trial with us, they give us their cell phone number. We actually text them immediately.
Hmm.
So like we start texting them, and what we've noticed is that it's actually our best channel in terms of response. So we text them, we call them, and we email them. Well, the most common response takes place over text. So anytime you have an inbound inquiry, I would say great. Text is a great way to respond. Open that channel up, get started, and if people feel comfortable with texting you back, they'll text you back. If they'd rather call
Yeah.
you, they'll call you. But I think
Sure.
just opening the channel up,
Right.
if someone's inbound, is good. After you've met with someone, I think text is a great channel too, as long as you have their cell phone number. If you've done like a sales demo or something like that, probably a good idea to text them. Um, and I just think texting someone shows you're in it with them. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm willing to text you. You've got my personal cell phone. You know what I mean? Like I see this as a human to human interaction. It's not just some like cold business interaction. We're going to email back and forth. Yeah, I think that's a really great time. Anytime after the deal cycle has truly begun is a good time to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. No, I love the immediacy of it is really important, without a doubt. So, talking about kind of misconceptions around SMS as a marketing tool and revenue tool, are there any out there that come to mind in terms of just, people just don't maybe get it or resonate with it properly?
Yeah, I mean, here's some things I think people do wrong with it. Sometimes people will send super long texts that are obvious marketing texts. I think and maybe in B2C, this is okay if you're like a consumer brand, you're sending like, there's an image. Because I've seen this be successful with that, but we're talking about B2B, right? Um, I think in B2B, you got to be short. You gotta text them like you're like their friend texting them. You
Yeah.
don't need to make
Yeah.
it a marketing. Don't write it like it's a marketing email or something like that. Like human to human, like, hey Jeremy, great chatting with you last week. This is, Reggie from In Market. Uh, got time to chat next week. I have a few follow up questions for you. I mean, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
basic,
Yep.
super human. That stuff's important because I think most people they default to like writing it like it's a script or like a marketing newsletter when you need to text them just like you would text anyone else on your phone.
Hmm.
Shore is also cheaper.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know if people know, but like SMS, you get charged by segment. Segment is based on how many characters long your text is. So if you write like a 500 character text, that's going to cost like three times as much or four
Sure.
times as much as a 150 character
Yeah. Yeah.
text.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're paying more to send this text. That's
Sure.
probably not going to convert as well because it's too long.
Right.
So you're like
Right.
doubly better off because you'll save money and you'll probably get a better response if you write a
Sure.
short
Sure.
text.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Great stuff. So AI and automation and go to market. How is Textla using AI to power smarter segmentation, personalization, timing, outreach. What do you guys use?
Yeah, man. So we have a bunch of automation set up for our own sales process foremost. We literally have it set up to where when someone signs up for a 14-day free trial of Textla, they basically get automatically sequenced. We're using ADIO, which is a really cool CRM that like automatically sequences them. So they're getting email automatically, they're getting a text automatically. Our guys are doing a phone, like manual phone call, but yeah, like that, all that outreach that happens, like most of it's automated, which is great. Um, and then we're also doing some like automated follow-ups if they like, fall off their free trial or something like that, or if they cancel, blah blah. We also have automations going whether they show up to a demo or don't show up to a
Okay.
demo.
Yeah.
Um, everything happens automatically, so that's really important to us. And then inside the platform, we're actually building sort of inbox sentiment. So like when you send a blast out with like 50,000 to like 50,000 people, you're going to get like 2,000 responses. Let's say, well, maybe 500 of those are good and 1,500 are bad. Textla gives you the ability. We're about to get the ability to have to filter your inbox based on sentiment, so
Uh,
that if you can see only the positive responses. Let's say you want to
right.
ignore the negative responses, but
Right.
you want to see the positive responses. You'll be able to do that. So we're
Right.
using AI to sort of do advanced sentiment analysis on
Okay.
people's
Great.
responses. Yeah,
Awesome.
so that's the exciting thing that's happening inside of the product. Another thing we're working on more longer term. Uh, we have tons of data on what sort of text campaigns work best for each industry. We have thousands of customers across a
Right.
ton of different industries.
Right.
So we're actually going to be able to sort of grade and score and like guide your text campaigns. If you're a restaurant, or like let's say you're a gym or you're a church, like we can literally tell you, okay, based on like industry benchmarks, like you should probably make the text this long and you
Right.
should use this language and that sort
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, so that's an exciting place we're going. And the reason we're going there is because, I mean, texting, like most people don't know how to write a good text. And we're selling to mainly small business owners. So they're doing a million things. They've got like a million, they don't have time to learn how to be an effective SMS
Sure.
marketer. So we're going to have the product essentially tell them, here's how to write that marketing message you're looking to write.
Yeah.
And here's how to make it effective. Yeah,
Yeah. Take that massive body of work from all your customers and make it very even more valuable to all your customers.
exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Is there any go-to-market work today that's being done manually that you see being automated in, I don't know, 12 to 18 months? Seems to be happening at a
Yeah.
rapid pace. I'm just wondering if there's anything that stands out to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've talked about having all of our inbound phone calls into text. So we have Nextiva, or we have, probably like 10, 20 people calling in a day. We would love to automate that to where like we have AI that's able to help answer their questions or something like that. Because I mean, for the most part, people ask us the same basic questions. It's something to where AI could probably handle those questions better, and we wouldn't have to commit human resources to that. So that's one thing. Another thing is probably even like having some sort of advanced like demos or something like that, where like it's AI running the demo and it's able to personalize the demo based on, you know, um, what industry you're in, that sort of thing. Uh, Probably looking at using AI to send like automated, like personalized follow ups to people. So right now we send pretty general follow ups, but it'd be great if we could
Yeah.
like tailor it to like, okay,
Yeah.
I just, did a demo with this pastor of a church. I'm going to send him a follow up automatically that specifically speaks to a church use case for Texla. It has like 3 customer reviews from churches, has a case study from a church, and, has some like sample templates. That'd be good for a church.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that,
Fantastic.
like yeah, and I know like I know what tools are available to do that. Like there's stuff that's out there that's pretty inexpensive to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You may have kind of touched on a little bit of this, and it's fine if you have, but thinking about growth teams overall, what does the
Yeah.
AI-enabled growth team look like compared to the traditional one? You pointed out a few good examples, but as you guys think
Yeah.
long term, and it sounds like you certainly are thinking longer term, what are the differences between those growth teams?
Yeah. AI enabled growth teams are number one, much smaller. You don't need you can have one or two guys with like, the right firepower in terms of like what AI tools they're using, doing the work of what a 10-person team can be doing. So it's pretty exciting because, like, I think, the ability for small startups to grow really fast and do a lot without having to add a ton of manpower to their company is
Sure.
exciting now because like AI can do so much, man. So like it's helped me do all kinds of stuff here, even just chat gpt, like quickly doing reporting and stuff like that. Like I basically I was having chat gpt do all my, because we were doing some pretty complex
Yep.
analysis on stuff,
Right.
where I was combining reports from like three different systems. So all that, it was great. So um I think the exciting opportunity is for teams to keep headcount low, and then find, just constantly look for ways for AI to do any manual work, any gritty like work that was needed. I was
Sure.
having AI wrote all of our blog posts at
Yeah.
Textla.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote the first 20. I think AI has written the next like 200. You know what I'm saying? So like
Sure.
that's
Absolutely.
something I used to spend a lot of time doing, man. Now
Yeah.
I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely.
So um, yeah, and then it can write, obviously, can write all your social posts for you. It can do
Sure.
all kinds of stuff.
Sure. Sure.
I wrote all the scripts for the videos we did. I had it write SEO optimized scripts for our YouTube videos, which we filmed and then published. And like, I then used AI to write SEO optimized titles and descriptions. Sure enough, we ranked number one on SMS marketing software on YouTube,
Ah,
because
fantastic.
of a. So like that was
Love it.
like, yeah, AI basically did all the hard work. We just filmed the video, what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
published it. So
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic, man. So, kind of a two-part question here. What's a growth play at Texel that worked even better than you expected? And then the second part would be recalling a time when momentum may have stalled and how you and your team kind of broke through that.
Yeah. Great question, man. So we're doing better than we expected. I think we had a really good. I'll go back to the YouTube example I just did.
Okay.
We were basically new to YouTube, and we just started like, we were like, I want to start publishing videos on YouTube. Like the search on Google for our all of our industry keywords, super competitive. Like we have all these companies that have been around forever. They have like 90 domain authority. Like it's very hard to rank. Right. So as I was looking at the next places for us to get like some organic thrust, I looked at YouTube. So I was like, well, okay, YouTube's the second biggest search engine, but like there's
Yeah.
not a lot of competition on there. So we went and I had an old videographer friend of mine. We spent like, $2,000 to film like a bunch of videos, and we filmed all these videos. We had like a tripod camera, filmed them myself, published it. One of the biggest things we did was we did all the SEO optimization with the script, description, title, and then we published it. And then I drove some engagement to the video right when it launched. I don't know why, but that seemed to like make the difference. That was like the spark that got to rank. So now
That's great.
it started ranking. It basically ranked number one in YouTube for like a year, for like
Wow.
SMS marketing software, which is like our bread and butter terms.
Absolutely.
That was a huge win. And then, I mean, the growth, as far as growth stalling, we did a lot without like getting Google ads and Meta ads running. But when we got those running, and we got them running well, it really seemed, it like drove our growth across. Like, it was great. It drove not only attributed signups, but non-attributed signups. We noticed too. So people were seeing our
Awesome.
ads and then searching organically for Textla and signing. Because when we did some tweaks, we did some tests with Google Ads over the last year, where we try some different stuff, and like if we made drastic changes, we would have our signups just drop off a cliff. And I was like, okay, so this is not just affecting paid ad signups, they're being attributed to paid ads, but it's also affecting all of our
Yeah.
ads. So
Yeah.
that was an interesting, enlightening thing. And we started appearing in AI searches too, which was cool, like on
Awesome.
Grok and Chat GPT. And
Awesome.
I would one thing I did was we would literally ask every person sign up with us, how'd you hear about us? I was shocked how many times people would say Chat GPT, Grok. Like it was way more than I thought it would be. And it was pretty cool that we were getting getting on those lists. Um, yeah, so that's been
Fantastic.
a big win for us.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, shifting gears. Early career growth leaders. What do you wish more of them understood about experimentation and risk? You've done a lot of that. You've highlighted a lot of it just here, and I'm sure there's even more. But those early career growth leaders, what should they know about experimentation and risk?
Yeah, you have to take risks and you have to experiment because like you can't just do what everyone else is doing. You have to get out there and be different in some way. So like you need to take big swings and like if they fail, just pivot fast.
Yep.
So I mean we've had some things where we try them and we did them for like 2 weeks or a month and it didn't work and we just were like, okay, cool, it didn't work, no big deal. It's not like a reflection on the quality of you as a marketer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more like it's just an experiment that didn't work,
Yeah.
So you need to measure everything. Having a really good RevOps foundation is key so you can actually attribute what's happening as much as possible because your
Yep.
CEO is gonna at the end of the day, like the CEO is always gonna want the data on how things are going. And so you might know in your gut, like, and based on just like visceral day in, day out, living it, seeing what's happening, like how things are going. But like you need to be able to actually report that with like cold, hard data. So
Yep.
the more of that you have, the more readily available it is, or you don't have to dig for it. It's just automated. It's right at your fingertips. The easier you're going to make your life. So I would say,
Yep.
like, actually, the foremost thing for that is setting yourself up for success to do those experiments, to where you actually have the reporting infrastructure available to you. And it's
Right. 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 Right.
yeah, but experiments are great, man. Like experiments are have
Yep.
fun with them too. I mean, we
Yeah.
did some
Yeah.
funny we did some wacky videos,
Sounds
man.
like it.
We had a funny video we did where we had a home. So we're the cheapest SMS marketing platform. So we did a video where I dressed up as a homeless guy and I was holding up a cardboard box that said "went broke using overpriced SMS marketing platforms." And just like we had a blast filming it. We published
I
it,
love it.
got a great
I
response.
love it.
We tried to stand out. It's like yeah,
I love
so
it.
yeah,
Fantastic. So, when hiring a new growth marketer today, what kind of traits and skills matter most? You may have just touched on some of them, but
yeah.
if you're talking to somebody new, what are you looking for?
Most important thing I'm looking for is grit. I look at them like it's the same attributes you look for in sales in a way. You want grit, but then with a little bit of extra creativity
Yep.
too. So you want someone who's gritty, who's uh, able. I think marketing too is like it's kind of like I've heard described as like the straight. You're actually low key like the entire business strategy runs through marketing. So you need someone who can also
Yep.
see the big picture of
Yep.
what's happening and think about things at a very high level, but then also go in and be able to execute
Yep.
on the like micro level day to day stuff and likes doing both things. So I'm
Right.
looking for somebody who's gritty, who's competitive, who's numbers driven. Cause like marketing nowadays, it's all like, it needs to be numbers driven. Like you need to be obsessed with like getting things going up and to the right. So, gritty, competitive, creative, like creativity is big. You have to think outside the box. You have to be thinking of new things. You have to have new ideas.
Yep.
You have to be willing to try things.
Yep.
And
Excellent.
I think the other biggest thing too, man, I've seen Reggie, like I've seen this at other big companies I worked at. People will come in to a company and try to do the exact same thing they did at their previous company.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, man. Everyone,
Yeah.
Textla is buying. Textla had we built like the tech stack at Textla, and our our like follow ups here are very different than what I did at my previous companies because it's a different type of buying cycle. The buyer behavior is different. You have to adapt to that.
Yep.
I think being able to adapt to that because you in your course of your marketing career, you'll work at different companies, right? But you can't expect what you did at company A to translate to company B. You have to go in there and diagnose specifically what is happening
Right.
within the buyer journey of that company and construct a unique go-to-market strategy that's tailored to that, and not get
Yep.
caught up in like, well, I'm gonna do this thing that worked at this previous company. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Great
Yeah.
advice. Absolutely great advice. I know there's kind of this wash, rinse, repeat mentality that can settle in, and yeah. So great advice. So question for those young leaders out there today: is there a winning play you'd suggest they can execute this week or in the next 10 days or so, just to start to build some good habits, things you really feel, foundations for building what's next?
Yeah, I think mastering like your reporting, like your CRM, getting your reporting as dialed in as possible, becoming really good at that is probably one of the most important skill sets you can have. Because the data will tell you what's working. You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess and say, I think we're doing well with this. You can literally just point to the data and say, this is telling me
Yeah,
that this is working. So,
yeah,
I think being really good at talking to customers too, like making that like a daily practice. I did that every day. I mean, since I've been at Textla, every single day I've probably talked to at least 5 or 10 customers a
that's
day.
great. That's
So
great.
I mean, that is a practice that just never gets old.
Right.
I
No
mean,
question.
as a marketer, you should love to do that because they will
Yeah,
literally they will tell you how to sell your product better than you can.
yeah,
So yeah, I'd say go to the horse's mouth. Like it's looking at the
fantastic.
data, getting that data locked in, talking to customers, and then from there you can construct all the creative, fun, exciting, unique, cool things that we love to do. But you can do that with that healthy foundation
Right.
to
Yeah,
support it. Yeah.
great advice. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up here, but two quick ones for you. What's the best text messaging marketing campaign you've ever seen and why?
God, the best one,
And if there's a
dude.
couple, that's fine. I don't want to put you on the spot too much on that one.
We did this really cool. We did this ebook that we never published. I wish we had, but I literally went through. So our head of customer success actually subscribed to all these different SMS campaigns from all these different brands, man. And my favorite was Liquid Death. Like by the way, I went through like hundreds and hundreds of like major brand campaigns and like was looking at which ones do we like best. Liquid Death, I thought, and that's part of it. I also just love the branding, so I'm a little bit biased there, but like they had really clever, classic like punny sort of like uh what's the word I'm looking for? Like a little bit deviant,
Yeah,
language in their texting.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was great. If you've ever seen Liquid Death,
yeah,
marketing
yeah, yeah,
anywhere,
yeah,
they do it.
yeah,
They have such a strong creative
for
brand. It
sure.
translated to their texting too. So I remember that being my favorite out of all of them.
Awesome, awesome.
Uh, I need to
Incredibly
find it.
creative brand.
Yeah, incredibly creative. I should go look for it, see if I can find it. Let me
Love
see.
it.
I don't want to derail the conversation though, but
That's all right. That's all
it's
right.
great.
So while you're doing that, the future of this is a fill in the blank. The future of SMS is blank.
Yes, it's a sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
No, the future of SMS is I believe AI powered. It's AI powered, man. I think like you're gonna get to where like I'm starting to get this way with some of my emails where the AI response to the email. I'm actually trusting it and being able to go with that. You know what I'm saying? So like I actually think we can get to the point where we can use AI to really like create some really awesome uh, just good marketing campaigns where any small business owner can send out effective SMS texts on behalf of his company.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Absolutely makes
So this,
sense.
I've got the I've got the Liquid Death campaign by the way here.
Let's hear
So
it.
Liquid Death for 2 days only. It's an absolute price bloodbath. Take 40% off merch site wide. Terms apply. Shop now before it's gone and buried. And then there's a picture. It says Summer Slaughter Mania sale. Don't wait. The great Summer Slaughter Mania sale ends in a few hours. This is your last chance to dance in the blood of merch prices. Take 40% off merch site wide.
I love
Shop
it.
now or regret everything forever.
I love it. I love it.
Priceless, man.
Oh man,
So,
that's great. Good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah.
All right, last question here. So, which go-to-market metric should die and be left in 2025 in
Oh,
your
I
opinion?
love that. I love that. And this is one I've been hating on this metric for 10 years. MQLs. Don't
Ah,
it should be
yeah.
got get rid of it. We didn't even I mean this goes back to when I was at Ambition. Like we didn't even I had a really good incentive that we created for me where I got paid off sales qualified leads and I got commission off deals won. And we didn't even talk about MQLs because like I
No.
don't like it doesn't matter if someone downloads an ebook or like signs up for a demo. Like if they're not if sales doesn't think they're qualified, they don't count.
Yeah.
Because there's so many that number can just like get inflated and can essentially become meaningless. It's been meaningless at
Yeah.
every company I've worked at. Even at Textla, like you could say every sign up we have is an MQL because it's someone literally sign up for a 14-day free trial of the product. But there's so many people who are kicking tires or who
Yeah. Yeah.
can't actually use us because they're in a bad use case or something like that.
Yeah.
So, the actual number that matters is really like people who are true interest in using the platform and could become potential customers. So
Yeah.
annoying
Yeah.
MQLs, get rid of it. Don't even make it a thing anymore. Never, if we never speak about it again, that's fine with
Yeah.
me. So
I couldn't agree
yeah,
more. I couldn't agree more. And I think the amount of time spent about talking about what is an MQL, if you got all
yeah,
that time back, you use it on more
no.
constructive things. I mean, all right. So, Jeremy, awesome talk. Where can our listeners follow you, learn more about Textla and what you're building next?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on LinkedIn. Just look for me, Jeremy Boudinet. If you want to email me, shoot me an email at jeremy@textla.com. And then check out Textla. It's textla.com, textla.com. We do a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. If you're looking at using SMS for your business, you should definitely check us out. It's the best pricing in the industry, Reggie. It's a penny per text, which is, a fraction what the
Yeah.
other guys charge. And we're ranked number one in ease of use by G2. So if
Awesome.
you need easy to use, good price,
Yep.
SMS marketing platform, we're your guys. So
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Love it. This has been the Momentum Playbook. Thank you, Jeremy, very much. You're by far the most entertaining and most insightful guest I've spoken to. So thank you. And thanks for your generous wisdom today. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Until we talk again. And thanks, everybody, for listening.
thanks, Reggie.